This is the AWS Morning Brief Security Edition. AWS is fond of saying security is job zero. That means it's nobody in particular's job, which means it falls to the rest of us. Just the news you need to know, none of the fluff.
Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS Security Edition. With RSA this week, expect a bigger list of news next week. And of course, be sure to visit jobs.lastweekinaws.com for your hiring and getting hired needs. Now, what happened? AWS had two minor cross-tenant vulnerabilities in AWS App Runner. These are rare, and to be clear, the descriptor minor isn't me editorializing, it's Nick Frichette's description in the linked post. So I take a concerned view of anything that even hints in this direction personally. Other customers seeing things about my environment that don't want them to is a problem for the cloud. Some company called Invictus, which I thought was a movie, has practical experience dealing with ransomware in the cloud and reported on their experiences. Chris Ferris has a post up on pen testing AWS. I'm a big fan of Chris, his work, and seeing a better security future for AWS and, more importantly, its customers. Dark Reading posits that security is a revenue booster, not a cost center. Dark Reading is wrong because the business disagrees. And while I have AWS on record saying that AWS account IDs aren't sensitive information, I found a post that offers an attacker's perspective on that topic. AWS had a couple of interesting releases: how to prioritize IAM Access Analyzer findings, and it would be easier if the IAM Access Analyzer didn't shriek like my toddler does whenever she's afraid of bath time every time it sees its own shadow. And scale your authorization needs for Secrets Manager using ABAC with IAM Identity Center. When deciding between Systems Manager, Parameter Store, and Secrets Manager, it's fascinating how the AWS security story always trends towards the option that costs you 40 cents per month per secret instead of the one that's free. And a couple tools. NetChecks, verifying your security controls, is a way of programmatically doing what it says in the tin. You probably want to be doing that in most shops. I love CloudTrail Lake, and they have a repository up now of query samples that make it easier for me to use it. And Iambic offers GitOps for IAM. I hate the name, but love the concept. The IAM console doesn't support versioning, which has messed me up before. And that's what happened last week in AWS. Stay tuned.
Thank you for listening to the AWS Morning Brief Security Edition. For the latest in AWS security that actually matters, please follow AWS Morning Brief on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, or wherever the hell it is you find the dulcet tones of my voice, and be sure to sign up for the Last Week in AWS newsletter at lastweekinaws.com.